water bottle, where maybe if you're not exercising as much, I want to dig into that junk food or drink this soda. It's amazing. When you get on an exercise routine, it's like you just want to keep going. You just want to jump on that train and not get off. Get on the exercise train. It's incredible.
Great. Now, we're going to move to number 3, taking some quiet times. What concrete action we can take in the hectic world to find stillness?
Sure. I think this is so applicable in our world today, especially during the global pandemic, because even though someone might think that we're at home, we're maybe not out shopping or around millions of people or moving or traveling, like we're still most of us living in a society, living in worlds where we're getting stimulation from all angles: TV, radio, internet, social media, text calls. And so if we don't take the time to cultivate a little bit of stillness every day, it's easy to just get lost in that. It's easy to start living a life going through the motions. And so 5 things we can do every day to cultivate a little bit of inner stillness to kind of push back against this society that is continually throwing things at us is, number 1, some sort of meditation or prayer. You don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a Buddhist monk to take a little time to just sit in gratitude. And if you really want to focus on like a formal meditation process, for example, what I do every morning, what I do every afternoon and every night for simply 5 to 10 minutes each time is I'll just throw open my phone, and there's some phenomenal meditation apps like Calm, Headspace, Waking Up with Andy Pettycombe, Sam Harris. These guys are phenomenal. They've studied meditation for years. There are people who are trying to help this world. So open the app. Get a 10-minute meditation session going. After a little bit of meditation or prayer, you'll be so surprised to it's almost like you just jumped in a pool and you just feel so refreshed. You're like, man, why don't I do that a little more often? So number 1, a little bit of meditation or prayer every day. Number 2, take some time to read. And I know maybe when someone hears the idea of reading, it's easy to think, I've been doing enough reading at work or school or whatnot. But pick up something you want to read, whether it's a comic book, whether you want to throw open the New York Times, whether you just want to Google something and read about bats or the sport of tennis or something you're interested in. Pick up a book on fantasy and just like escape. When you take a little time to just sit and read, whatever it is, it allows your mind to hone in and still be occupied, but really focus on one thing as opposed to being pulled in many directions. Number 3, I love this. And this is going to be crazy for me to say because I have not been on the nap train for a while. But number 3, ways to find stillness in a hectic world is take naps. And the science shows that the optimal nap time is 20 minutes or 90 minutes because the sleep cycle of, we'll say, roughly 90 minutes, but the first part of the sleep cycle ends around, we'll say, 45 minutes. And so the sleep psychologists and sleep researchers all say, if you're going to take a nap, you want to do a 20-minute power nap or less, so you're not getting quite into the first part of that full sleep cycle, or you take a 90-minute nap, which means you have progressed through one full sleep cycle, and there's a better chance you're not going to wake up groggy. So number 3, take a power nap, 20 minutes, or if you're just simply overtired and you have the ability and the time, take a 90-minute full nap. Number 4, to find stillness today, take some time to rest in gratitude. And for me personally, that looks like gratitude journaling. At the beginning, at the end of my day, I just take a couple minutes to jot down a couple things I'm grateful for. Because no matter what the day brought, the trauma, the ups, the downs, the interactions, the hardships, you'll find if you start to incorporate this practice every day, there's always 1 to 3 things that you're grateful for. And then finally, deep breaths. The breath is the most powerful tool for cultivating stillness in our world today. So I'm going to encourage our listeners, every time you walk into a certain room in your house, whether it's your bedroom, whether it's the kitchen, whether you open the refrigerator, whether you walk in the bathroom, take a moment, stop, and just simply do 1 deep breath every single time. Make it a habit. And so now every single time you walk into that bathroom to go to the bathroom, you're doing a deep breath. What that does is, again, slows down your mind and allows you to simply be a little bit more present with your surroundings. And your mind, as much as it wants to latch on to all the stimulation coming to you, it says, oh man, let's just focus on the right here and now. 5 ways, 5 things I would do, and I'm trying to do every day to incorporate a little bit of more stillness in my life.
Good. Sekou Radio, if you just joining us, today we have a guest by the name of Patrick Quinn. This is the 3rd appearance of Patrick on our show because the subject is so interesting. And Patrick, we're going to move to number 4 questions. It has to do with engage in gratitude. 5 techniques to engage in gratitude, please.
Gratitude is, if there was a word, if there was a mantra, if there was a phrase that I try and live my life by, and have seen, neurologically speaking, after 4 years in neuroscience, reading all these studies, that anyone should think about, if there was one thing, it would be one word: gratitude. Be grateful. I just heard an incredible Hidden Brain podcast a couple weeks ago on the science of gratitude. And the most powerful thing about gratitude, as these scientists said, it's like a booster shot for your mental well-being, your physical wellness, your mental health, regulating your stress levels, everything. Gratitude is just, it makes your whole life better. So 5 things we can do every day to engage in gratitude. I mentioned this first one earlier, but simply take some time to write. Pick one time throughout your day. I'd encourage you to start and end your day with a little journal. Just have a little piece of paper, pen. Take 3 minutes and just jot down, when you wake up, 3 things you're grateful for in that moment. And then when you go to bed, 3 things that you're grateful for, what happened that day. Number 2, this is something that has transformed my life, and it's taken the form of sending one unexpected text or email or kind message or phone call to someone in your life every day. And if that sounds like a lot, then simply just start with one unexpected, random act of kindness message a week. Pick someone you've talked to recently, pick someone you haven't talked to recently, but just send them one text saying, I'm grateful for you. I'm thinking of you. You are loved. You will be blown away by the responses, but I think more importantly, how good you feel when you're sending that gratitude message to them. Number 3, a 3rd technique to engage in some gratitude is simply tell someone you love them. Again, we're in a global pandemic. We're not able to be with people in person as much as we want. So pick up the phone. If you are with someone, just stop and say, hey, I'm grateful for you because of this reason. Or I love you. Or take that time before you go to sleep to give your kid a hug for just a second longer. Or your mom, or your dad, or your friend. Or you know what, if you're hanging with your roommates, give them a hug, give them a bro hug, whatever it is. But communicating it through love and gratitude. And is one of the greatest things we can give other people is encouragement. Let's do it in the form of gratitude. Number 4, every time if you begin a task, whatever it is, you sit down to start some work, you jump in your car to go to the grocery store, you're about to get on a work phone call, a conference call. What if you began each task by telling yourself how grateful you were to have the physical and mental health to even begin doing this task? That's something I like to do a lot, especially if it's something that perhaps is filling my mind with doubts or fears or something that I've kind of been a little nervous about. That's one of the greatest ways to cultivate gratitude, is just to stop and recognize just how lucky each of us are every day to have the mental health, the physical health, the privilege, the gifts to do what we're about to do. And finally, a fifth technique to engage in gratitude every day is simply just be a lifelong learner. Be a lifelong learner. Take some time to learn about other people's stories. Take some time to learn about other people's situations. Because in this world today, there are a lot of people. Thank you.
That was good, Patrick. That's we at the end of our part 3. We're going to engage in part 4 soon. If you're joining us, this is Sekou Radio. Our guest is Patrick Quinn, and we're going to move into part 4 soon. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you for having me on the show, Sekou.